Mingling with Adam Levine, Usher, and Blake Shelton. Just another day at the office for Tess Boyer, the former Voice contestant with St. Louis roots. And now that her contest days are behind her, Tess sat down with News Channel 5's Heidi Glaus, who followed all of her performances.
Our coverage continues of looting, reports of fires happening in Ferguson and now spreading to Delwood. Pat Washington, the Director of Communications for County Executive Charlie Dooley, is joining us on the phone. Pat, thank you. I'm seeing all over social media that this Quick Trip that was originally looted after the vigil just lost control and people started being very angry, that it is now burning to the ground. Have you heard that?
Yes, we have. We have been told that the Quick Trip was pretty much a loss at this point.
And Pat, obviously tomorrow morning, the entire country will wake up. This will be the top story. They will see St. Louis splattered all over their front pages of the newspapers and the TV screens. And as the Director of Communications for the county that this is happening in, how do we explain this to the rest of the country? Well, Liz, considering that you had protesters sit on your news vehicle for an hour and trap you in the street, and that didn't make your list of the worst things in a day, it's a testimony to what has happened. So thank you for your excellent coverage, and we will check back with you. It feels already like the 4th of July here. We just had some sound checks on the Grand Budweiser stage here at the Grand Basin. Some cover music, some Clapton, some Springsteen. It was awesome. When you walk into the Grand Basin, you can smell all the funnel cake trucks. They've got the ice frozen lemonade going over here. We have a Budweiser truck. They've got the big truck with all the kegs they're starting to tap. Unbelievable stuff. And it looks like all the way down there, the St. Louis Fire Department has got the ladder trucks out, and they're about to raise the flag. Do you see that? It's coming up to kick off Fair St. Louis 4th of July festivities. People are going to start pouring in here in about an hour. So let's just watch this for a second, though, because this is so beautiful. And the 4th of July now officially kicking off in Forest Park. Let's take a look at the lineup for tonight. FAA has closed down airspace for 6 hours above Lambert Airport around St. Louis. Both fires right now of the public storage on fire. Two different angles for you here. That has grown immensely since we first showed you just one window it looked like was on fire. Fire departments have been told to hold back because reports of shots fired. Also, as we speak, around the country, there are what are mostly peaceful protests also going on in Boston, in Times Square, in Oakland, in Washington, D.C., Capitol Hill. But again, mostly peaceful, unlike the scenes unfolding in both of these shots here. It's called the sugar world. Sugar babies and sugar daddies. Hundreds of local college girls say it is a great way to pay for college. And we're talking an average of $3,000 a month. But what do these young ladies provide in return? Saving lives in seconds is something specialists who deliver high-risk babies do every day. Kay Quinn follows a local couple expecting twins into the operating room for those critical moments that will frame the rest of their and their babies' lives. If you love shopping, get ready to hit the mall in a whole new way. Analysts say the way we make purchases, it's going to change dramatically over the next 25 years. They say retailers are already working on equations to help determine price points. So an example would be cheaper prices on the off times, more expensive prices at busy times like the weekends. Analysts say retailers will also try to get you to download apps so they can personalize your service.
You'll know the frequency patterns of a customer available to them.
Oh, wow. A little too close for comfort there, knowing when we run out of shampoo. Analysts say stores are also working on making dressing rooms more high-tech. They say there will be screens that allow you to analyze sizes, make suggestions, and let you call an attendant, all with the push of a button. Cindy is back. You may have noticed last week that she was gone, and you were in Alaska. What a great trip, you said.
Let's get right to what's happening on the radar. We have rain just about to move into St. Louis County. After 13 days of testimony and 10 hours of deliberations, Anheuser-Busch is off the hook. A jury ruled AB did not discriminate against a former female executive by paying her significantly less than a male predecessor. News Channel 5's Lisa Zigman was in the courtroom every step of the way. She kicks off our team coverage. We have never shown the face of Ferguson police officer Darren Wilson. Why? Because he's never been charged with a crime. But pictures of Wilson are out there everywhere, including one that reportedly shows him in a hospital bed, stitched up and badly bruised. Our team of investigators we work with from across the country looked into that photo and who was behind it. Here's 5 on your sides, Brendan Keefe.
But what's confusing is the grand jury can vote as often as they want together as a group.
Yeah.
So does the foreman finally say, okay, this is the final vote, and then whatever that is what they sign?
You would hope it'd be more mutual than that they would all agree that they could not come to a decision. But the foreperson is in charge of conducting the votes and moving the jury along.
Why do they need to vote so many times, though?
Well, because they discuss things. So it could be there's a vote and someone mentions, you know, can we go back over the pathology report? I'd like to discuss that more. People change their minds during the course of voting. That's the nature of having these dialogues or discussions among the jurors.
But it sounds like they're trying to lead other jurors to a certain conclusion if you vote, and then they want to vote again later the next day, doesn't it?
Well, you know, it can be like that in any discussion you have with people, that it's fluid until a certain point.
Ann?
Kay, I'm telling you, the weather is beautiful out here. No fair goers yet at the Grand Basin. They'll open the gates at 5 o'clock for you to pour in and get the best seat. Meanwhile, I've been doing a little recon, working my way through the 4 food groups of Fair St. Louis. I had a funnel cake earlier, my favorite fair food. Now I got my lemonade, my chicken on a stick, and when the vendor gave it to me, he told me, this chicken is so good, it's gonna make you wanna slap your mama. Oh, that's right, Bree. I said, oh my, I gotta try that. Haven't done that yet. But here's the lineup for tonight, okay? 5 o'clock you can pour in. At that point, for the very first time right here in the Grand Basin, we're gonna have a wakeboarding challenge. There's ramps out there. These guys are doing 360s, all sorts of crazy flips. I've been watching them practice, but they're taking a rest right now. 8:45, Van Perry takes the Budweiser main stage here at the Grand Basin. 10 o'clock, the Flying Walendas will go across the water on a tightrope that's several, gosh, I don't know how many feet up it is, but you can see the cranes on either side of the pond there, the lagoon. So they've got this tightrope. Obviously, you can't see, but 10 o'clock, they'll be doing that performance. 10:05, the fireworks. But back to this first ever wakeboarding competition. Casey Nolan, he was out there today, and you kind of re-injured oh yeah, take a bite. I couldn't do it because my hands were full.
No, go.
Yeah, some ranch. I'll open the ranch for you.
I'm sorry,
Are you gonna intro your story now?
Yeah,
With the mouthful of mouth that slapped me old mama chicken?
I would never do that to my mother. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, so you were out there checking it all out. Come on, don't show everybody seafood.
On the boat. No, it was. I would have lost it if I had had this before because the boat ride was intense.
Breaking news, that's the sound of tear gas fired on crowds in Ferguson during a second night of unrest. People once again packing the streets as the community begs for an end to the violence. This is all happening 2 days after the police shooting death of 18-year-old Michael Brown.
And we'll continue to monitor the podium. No sign of him yet. You can see our Kay Quinn is there. She was told to report to the county courthouse at about 3 p.m. and wait for further instructions. It looks like St. Louis County Prosecutor Bob McCullough has entered the room and is approaching the podium to give us the much anticipated grand jury announcement.
Good evening.
And as you look at this public storage on fire, I've been at the scenes of storage facilities on fire before and talked with police as they try and fight it, and it is beyond a safety concern. This is not like fighting a regular house fire because there are so many different units and they don't know what's in any of them. Often people store their barbecue pits. There are propane tanks inside of these units. There are cars with gas tanks that people store in these units, and they just have no idea. So often with these fires, you will see subsequent explosions happen. And this is a very large public storage, dozens of units. And again, the St. Louis Fire Department and the municipalities, they've all been told to stand back because shots have been fired. And in a public storage situation, to continue to let that fire burn unattended, it could really lead to some big problems. It's not my fault they're making me read this, and I'm not trying to ruin it. Researchers for the Calorie Control Council say most of us go way off the rails this holiday, and they estimate most of us will stuff ourselves with 3,000 calories during our traditional meal, then another 1,500 in snacks. Combined, the CCC says we eat enough fat at a holiday meal to equal 3 sticks of butter. So I had Thanksgiving meal with my parents before I came in today. And
it was 5,000 calories.
I was so full that I actually set my alarm for 9 minutes and slept for 9 minutes in my car before I came into work. I was so tired from all the turkey.
Was it the tryptophan?
It was. I just thought, gosh, I need a 9-minute nap, and then I'm going to go into work.
All right. Well, you look refreshed now. Every year, families spend hours putting together all that food.
Not everyone can be Martha Stewart in the kitchen, but don't feel bad. You are in good company. Our Karine Savitsky joins us now with some of your Thanksgiving fails. Karine.